Romanticism was born in 1770 in Germany, England, and France, and that spread through Europe until mid-19th century. It is a literary movement that focuses on romance, freedom, feelings, and emotions. In this movement, man is shown as a person with strength and weakness. Death is one of the main subjects that the work of this movement have, but it also talks about the past and history. This literary movement was a success in drama and theater, because somehow they mix tragedy and comedy and some other subjects. In this text, we'll be analyzing one of the most famous poems of Alphonse De Lamartine called The Lake, a poem where this author gets to express his feelings about the death of his beloved. We will say why this poem is a composition from the Romanticism, and not only because of the date that it is written, but because of these main characteristics that totally belong to this movement. The poem The Lake of Alphonse de Lamartine focuses on how time flies, and so he hopes we shouldn't forget to enjoy every moment. He believes we should live life to the fullest so that life doesn't go to waste, that will help him understand what he thinks about memories when he was with his girlfriend who passed away. This poem corresponds to the Romanticism because it has strong feelings, a poem about the author beloved who died of tuberculosis. The main character visits the lake a year after the death of his beloved. The author recalls the memories he shared with her. As we know, Romanticism is a literary movement in which the past is an important subject, and this poem is not the exception, because it talks about how the speaker goes and remembers his beloved, and all the memories about her come to his mind. The line, "Do you recall the evening when we sailed in silence?" is where he asks about the memory, and memories are from the past, things that happened and left us something important to remember. Feelings are the most important aspect to show in the romantic movement, and we are not talking about only love or sorrow, but every single feeling. In the quote, there are many exclamation marks in the poem. The speaker is excited. He or she has strong feelings about the subject that is described in the poem. This line of the analysis to this poem tells how the author let his feelings talk and be one of the main subjects of the poem. Another important aspect that makes this poem part of this literary movement is that the author describes a lot of melancholic landscapes that help with the expression of feelings. The speaker emphasizes that while we cannot stop time, we should take a moment to think and reflect on our memory. In the line, "Upon the sea of time can we not lie at each other for but a single day?" It refers to the importance of time, when one should live as best as possible, but also that we should remember the important things in life.
As we know, death is something that characterizes works from the Romanticism. This poem was written with the intention to remember the speaker's beloved who had died from tuberculosis, and to talk about all the time they would have spent together if she hadn't died. So the line, "Tell me, will you ever return those hours of bliss that you have stolen from us?" The author expresses his sorrow and desire for more time with the woman he loved. As we know, one characteristic of Romanticism is the fact that people use the nature as a tool to express their feelings. In the poem, the line, "And by these waves she had to see again," the author connected with nature, with the loss of his lover, and talked about the moments he had with her. Also, having the speaker talking to the lake as if it was a person reminds us the connection of the human being with the nature. One very particular thing that the author makes in the poem is that he separates good and evil as the guilty and the victim, the lake being the guilty and his beloved the victim. This we can see it in the line, "O lake, mute rocks, thick rushes, hidden caves, dark forest, you who time spares or can rejuvenate, beautiful nature, keep forevermore at least the memory of that night." This helps him to express the sadness and anger. these two being the main feelings of the poem, that the speaker feels for the loss he suffered and seeks comfort in other elements of nature. In the poem, we get to see a lot of sadness and really strong emotions. The main subject is really interesting, and the way it was written let us see how sad the author felt and how much he loved this girl, because the way he talks about her is really pretty and we can almost feel as sad as the author felt. The literature of Romanticism embraces subjectivity and emphasis of individuality and spontaneity, which means that we did not follow rules. A lonely speaker that suffers is what we get to see in the poem. The beliefs that imagination is better than reason and a commitment to beauty, love, and worship of nature. The poem contains almost every characteristic of Romanticism that speaks of strong emotions, legible life, imagination, and nature. He connects nature with the loss of his lover and talks about his moments with her. All these characteristics let us know that the poem is indeed part of this literary movement.